There we go. So as I said, our service today is dedicated to Dr. John, Reverend Dr. John Waite of the Spiritual Science Fellowship and of Lilydale, New York. And Reverend Michael, I apologize that I didn't get to record that sooner, which missed your beautiful, beautiful introduction. And your comments about Reverend John. Okay, everyone. So we've shared our principles. Part of what we do with each of our services with or our live Zooms like this with Kindred Spirits Spiritualist Fellowship today is include a short meditation. And guiding us through this meditation today will be Reverend Michael Hiltz. And I thank you for doing this, Reverend Michael. But to get ready for your meditation, just you might want to close any doors, because if you're relaxing, you don't want anyone banging the door open on you. Turn off your cell phone, get in your chair nice and comfy, and just allow yourself to relax. And when Reverend Michael calls you back from your meditation, we will ask you to come back, okay? And I'm going to look for signs that you are back with us. So thank you, Reverend Michael. Reverend Michael, you're muted still. You're going to have to start again there. Just, do you have it there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can hear me now. Okay, I'd like you to begin by taking deep but gentle breaths for the mind, body, and spirit. Inhaling only peace, love, light, and joy, and exhaling any negativity that you may be holding on to. Inhaling peace, love, light, and joy, and exhaling any negativity that you may be holding on to. With each breath, you're relaxing more and more, and you become aware of an energy that has come in touch with your crown area. This energy feels very inviting and calm and loving, and you allow this energy to move further into your head, calming, relaxing, and soothing, and moving further down into your neck and shoulders, releasing any tension that you may be holding on to. And this energy moves downward into your arms, into your hands and fingers, calming, relaxing, and soothing. And this energy moves further down into your chest area, calming and soothing, and wherever healing is required, one shall be performed. This energy moves further down into your waist area, genital and buttock area, calming, soothing, and relaxing. And this energy moves further down into your legs, feet, and toes, calming, soothing, and relaxing. You find yourself on a beautiful summer's day, and you are walking into a field, and you come to a forested area that has a well-traveled path, and you enter into that path. As you wander through the forest on this path, you can see in the distance a bright light as if sunshine has come through a gap in the trees. But as you approach further, you see that that light is coming from a being that is seated on a large rock. And you are invited to come closer. And there are a few others there with you. And the being that is seated on the rock is definitely an enlightened being, and begins to ask questions of you or give answers that you are maybe looking for at this time. And you are energized by this being with the love, the passion, compassion. And you were invited to ask a particular question that may help you with a situation that you may be dealing with today. And as you ask that question, and as soon as you have stopped speaking to the master, answers begin to come back to you. Answers that have been in your very being, but for whatever the reason, you're unable to accept those answers at that time. But at this time and space, you understand and know that these answers have come from a very divine source. And you also understand that you are part of this divine source. And you continue to reflect in the presence of this being. And you feel the wisdom, and you feel connected to it in this space and time. And this being offers you a name, a symbol, a point of identification that you can use to call upon them. Because you can recreate this experience at any time. And the spirit being assures you that although this visual experience will end at any time, you will still feel their essence, you will still feel their presence, and you understand and know that you can connect with them at any time. And you draw close to this spirit being and you receive a blessing. And you look directly into their eyes. And you are energized. And in the blink of your very own eye, the spirit being has vanished from your visual experience. But as promised, you still feel their presence and their essence. And you understand and know that you can connect with them at any time. And you begin to rise from your resting place. And you begin to walk back on the path that took you to this special place. And you find yourself in the field once again on a beautiful summer's day. And as you're walking in the field, you become very aware of your body and your breath. And the more you walk, you're coming back to this time and space, feeling relaxed and refreshed. Back to this time and space, feeling refreshed and energized. And thank you for allowing me to share.
So I want to see everybody come back and just see some open eyes and some movement to know you're okay and back with us. Coming back to this place and time, opening your eyes and allowing a little bit of movement so I know that you're back with us. Just allow your body a little bit of movement so I know you're back. Maybe move your hand or something. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you, Reverend Michael, for that wonderful meditation. And I'm just going to put you on mute because I want to take this moment, and that's an honor to me, to introduce to you Dr. Joe Turner, who will be sharing today with us our lecture portion of our event. We from Halifax, Nova Scotia, have known Dr. Turner for many years, probably since 2008, and he is a tremendous blessing to any community that he has worked with. Dr. Turner has been involved in practicing Chinese medicine for well over 40 years. He's now based out of the west coast of Canada and British Columbia, and working with Indigenous peoples there a lot, as well as everyone else. Dr. Turner is trained both classically and traditionally. He's taught at universities, and he's also a practicing medium. Actually, he's going to explain more to you about his mediumship and where it all started, but it was long before he began with his Chinese medicine. I do want to say, and I'll post this on Kindred Spirit Spiritualist Fellowship's website, that Dr. Turner has a website, and it's actually healingyou.com, which has got a little bit of a different spelling, and I'll actually post it in the chat here. Dr. Turner, like I said, is a gift. He does work with people. And one thing about Dr. Turner, he has a fee schedule, but he turns nobody away. So like I say, when I say that he is a gift, he truly is a gift to the community, and his lifetime has been dedicated to helping everybody. So Dr. Turner is going to come take my position here, and I want to thank you, Dr. Turner, for speaking with us today.
And good morning. Eileen's far too kind.
No, I'm not.
She'll deny that, and that's okay. She can. I've seen the mediumship I use as a blessing and a curse. From my earliest memories, I could see things and would say things that got me in a lot of trouble, got a few beatings here and there. Was blessed and cursed to go to a day residential school in Victoria, St. Louis College, taught by the Christian Brothers of Ireland. And because of the gift I had, I kept asking questions that I wasn't supposed to know anything about. And so that got me in a lot of trouble. And one thing that I don't even think Eileen knows is I was functionally illiterate till in my, well, about half my life. No, I'm just turning 80. That was a blessing to me because I had to learn to do things differently. So I would see things, and then I had to learn a bit of discretion when I talked about them and when I didn't, and when there'd be a punishment involved with talking with them and when I could just talk freely. And along the way, I met a lot of fellow travelers. Now, I see a fellow traveler as somebody using other therapies or whatever the hell we're going to call them to help us in our daily lives. And so keeping that in mind and out of the road and all this bit, I had a lot of resentment for the Catholic Church and ended up leaving after a number of years. I was involved in Victoria with an alternate Catholic Church that didn't have a priest. And that was one of the best things that ever happened. And our bishop at the time went along with it. And when I was quite young, I met an old man who said, "You've got a gift." And I looked at him like, "What do you know? I don't know." And he taught me about dowsing, using rods. And that was the first part I thought I could use that would be legitimate and people would understand. And he taught me how to use 3 rods. Traditionally, people think of 2 rods. You put one in each hand, or you use a willow stick and cut off a tree or whatever to do it. But he taught me I needed 2 curved rods and a straight rod. The 2 curved rods were to tell me where it was. So he showed me how to walk along when the rods moved, I had to kick my heel in the ground and make a mark, and then carry on, set the rods up again and carry on until they stopped. And I kick another thing. And then I come at it from another angle and another angle until I knew exactly where the spot was. One of the things he taught me, and it's been a lifelong lesson, I guess I remembered. And he said, anybody can ask to find water. But he says, if you ask for water, you might get rancid water, bad water, whatever, whatever, whatever. You have to be very clear on what you're asking for. And the clearer you are, the clearer your result. So now when I dose, I ask for 25 gallons a minute. Is the volume I want? I want clean, potable water, mineral free. And that gets me pretty well anything I want that'll give me really good water. And then he showed me a straight stick. And this one here, I laughed when he was telling me because I understood every word he was saying. And now when I explain it to people exactly the way he did, they think I'm crazy. The rod you hold, sitting it on your forefinger and holding it down with your thumb. And you're asking the question, how deep is the water or whatever it is I choose to find, whether it be oil, whether it be gold, whatever it is. And if I think in feet, it will bounce once for every foot. When it gets to the depth, it'll stop, wait 7 seconds, and start over again. Start the cycle over again. The crazy part is, if I think inches, it'll come back to me in inches. If I think feet, it'll come back in feet. If I think yards, it'll come back in yards. If I think meters, it'll come back in meters. If I think fathoms, it'll come back in fathoms, and so forth. And I understood that fully because, yeah, you don't, unless you ask, you're not going to get the result. And how deep is that? What am I guessing at this time here? What am I going to, if I don't give it, how deep is it? It won't give me anything. It'll just go straight. So that was my earliest forms of using my gifts that I realized I had in a legitimate way that I wouldn't be punished. And that was really important to me because in my healing, I have a psychology background in humanistic psych, and I have a background in Chinese medicine. I realized I've been doing Chinese medicine. I'm in my 53rd year now of doing it. And that might sound crazy, but that's where I'm at. I've realized that, yes, Chinese medicine has a lot of special points and everything else, but we don't need them. I use probably less than 25 points in my life now, most often, and I can do anything I choose to do. Reading in some literature way back when, it was keep it simple. You don't need to get complicated. Lao Tzu talks about my words are very easy to understand. And people have written volumes on his phrase, the sky is blue. And they've written volumes about what he meant about the sky is blue. And he himself states, I was just making a statement, the sky is blue. That's how crazy we are. We have to get something and run with it. So people ask what I do, and I tell them I go to work to play. I feel Creator has given me this gift, and I play when I go to work. I have trouble taking stuff pretty seriously. I do professionally work now as a medical intuitive. So a lot of my gifts that I hand out and things I say to people are to do around health. A lot of people refer to my practice have gone through the whole Western system and they can't figure out what it is. I do work on 3 levels. I work on the physical level. Yes, you've got a sore shoulder. I do work on a spiritual level or an emotional level, whichever we choose to call it. And it's what's inside that got us here in the first place. How did we get in this mess? And the third part is the spirit. And spirit is nothing more than how you like you. And if you're having a bad day, you got a lousy spirit. And if you're having a great day, you got a good spirit. It's that simple. Okay, it's not complicated. In the gift I have, I can see in past lives, I can see past medical history. Often I'll look at somebody and say, you had a miscarriage. They look at me and I'm crazy, but they'll say, yes, how do you know? And so that's part of this gift or curse, whatever it is. And so what I'll do is suggest or ask mom, was it a boy or a girl? And moms know, okay? When they give me a boy or girl, ask, have you ever named babe? And you might want to name the baby. And this way here, then you can have closure. It's real hard having closure with a knit. Okay. Notice Bonnie shaking her head. She's been there. Yeah, pretty close. This is how I work. I work straight in people's faces. I'm responsible for everything I say, but I'm not responsible for the result or how they take it. Okay. How they take it is their business. I could be there to love them, support them. Part of what I offer with my services, when I make a commitment to work with someone, I'm available 24/7 by phone. Okay, if they're in crisis, call me. In the last 16 years, we're looking up the other day, in the last 16 years, I've only ever had that abused twice. And I see a bunch of people. So again, it comes back to what's my intent when I'm doing this? Is my intent to slam the person, or is my intent to say, hey, there's something going on here. This has held you back all your life. You know, whether it be abuse as a kid, sexual abuse, incest, who knows? And we tell them what it is. And do you choose to do anything with it? And everyone that leaves my practice when we've finished working for the day is they have homework to do. If they choose to do the homework, they will get better. And if they choose not to do the homework, they're going to stay stuck. And I think most of us have gone through that at one point or another in our lives. It's one of those topics nobody wants to talk about. And I have trouble with counselors that I make a judgment again, that if they are presented by a client with the same thing that they've gone through and haven't addressed yet, they'll change the subject because it's too close to home. And that's not fair to us. It's not fair to any client or anyone looking for help. So fast forward, let's look at today and what we're doing. My work today is mainly with the Indigenous population of British Columbia. I'm like a Robin Hood. I do have a fee schedule. And when the band is paying, they pay the full fee schedule. But that allows me to do the other work I can do that there's no funds with. I may get a jar of salmon or some herbs gifted to me or whatever for the service. A jar of salmon doesn't pay for gas going down the road. So we play with that one. Creator in his wisdom or her wisdom or their wisdom sets us up so we can do this and work the way I do. I want for nothing. I follow the law of abundance in everything I do. That includes monetary, food, housing, everything. If I need something to help someone, I'll ask for it. Creator will provide it, either directly to them or through me, and I can gift it. Yeah, one of the things in the last couple of years we've really been doing, and with this COVID around, it's really opened my eyes to a lot of things, is that Western medicine does not, and I repeat that again, does not know what COVID is, period. Everybody says, oh, we came up with a vaccine. You know, if they can come up with a vaccine in 9 months, why can't we do this for other things? The COVID vaccine they're using is really the SARS vaccine with a slight modification. And they've been working on that for over 20 years. So we know that it's been around for a while. They had most of the work done for it. They quickly got it in place, and thank God they did. I don't want to sound like I'm preaching on that, but Western medicine has got us through the holes. My biggest concern with all this information I've gathered over the years is that I would have no one to pass it on to. I get quite emotional with this because the information we all need to exist. I've had students over the years, some of them have come along, bits and pieces. And I'm blessed now that I have one student that is like a sponge. I can't throw enough water on the ground for her to soak it up. And in turn, she's been one of the biggest gifts that's come my way in a long time. And this has freed up this thought that no one will carry it on when I go. And I'm getting there. So not for a while yet. That's for you, Donna. With this, I'm looking at plants, and I talk to people about, we have everything we need. I'm an herbologist as well. And so if you go on to just, if ever you're on Facebook and look at it, we have a page on Facebook. And if you want to get in, just ask to be liked to Healing You. That's HELINGYU. And we started it at the beginning of COVID. And what we're doing is keeping it really positive. Every day we put up a herb, how it's used, where it's used, why it's used, what it could do to help us. When I'm working, I usually work in groups. COVID's changed that, so I have to work one-on-one. But I talk to First Nations all around BC, as we have everything we need to get us through COVID in the countryside, all the way around us. All the different herbs, everything we need. Whether we need asters, we go to birch. Whether we need this, we might go to Devil's Club, wherever. And these herbs will help us and get us through. So that's the exciting part. Yeah, it's that's basically what I do in my current practice. The plants themselves, when I teach them, I teach taste. If you pick a plant, chew it, see if it's bitter, see if it's sweet, see if it's earthy, okay? And it'll tell you a lot about how to use it. I want you to feel it. Is it rough? Is it smooth? Is it like running your fingers over a piece of rope? Stuff like this. So we get very tactile. Yeah, it's we keep it this way. I use Chinese medicine with my students in school system, the formal school. They don't let you use needles till the 3rd year of practice. I teach people needles the first day. Here, stick it in, see what you get, see what it does, see what feels. And so my students, usually within about 2 or 3 months, they have enough that they can do miracles. Really, it's not them, it's Creator working through them. They're just a tool. And spirit with me is often I find myself saying things or doing things with people when I'm reading them that I know are not my words. So I see it as I'm channeling. It comes to me, I put it into words and give it to me. It's not my words. It may be one of their ancestors. It could be one of their elders speaking to them. It could be just Creator saying, hey, look, you need a kick in the ass, say this and get it over with. You're wasting time. And I laugh and I giggle. And this is why I say when I go to work, I play. I really have fun doing what I'm doing. I'm going to deal with Creator that as long as he keeps me healthy, I will continue to work. And 2 years ago, I was totally disabled. Veterans Affairs Canada, which I'm a veteran, had me 102% disabled. I asked them where the 2% came, and they said that's just where the numbers work. But I'm 100% disabled. I have a scooter at home I should be using. I've never had it around the block. I've got a stair lift at home, which is a gift. I've got walkers. I've got chairs that'll kick me out of it, help me stand up and all this. And I figured if I started using that stuff, I'm going to go downhill, and I choose not to. Now I have a service dog with me, and he works with me as well. He can pick spirit up with people. When they're having a rough day, he'll go over and sit at their feet. He's my service dog, but he'll go over and sit with them or put his chin on their knee.
Come.
Yeah, he's,
Kirsten,
I've been blessed that
show yourself.
I've been gifted him. I had another service dog before him for 10 years. He's gone now. Yeah. And this one here I've had for a year, and he's just been an incredible companion. Excuse me. When I was in the service, I ended up with PTSD from overseas. And this dog will turn lights on for me at night. He'll pick stuff up. He's just about 70 pounds, but he acts like a lap dog. So if I need consoling, I'll tap my knee and he'll jump up into my lap. And here I am with a lap full of dog. So we've got now that he's okay there. If I put my computer on top of him and I can keep working and he can get his snuggles and give me the support. Yeah. When Eileen asked me to talk, I says, I'm not going to give you any formal talk. I'm going to talk and ramble because this is the way I work. I try and go into each person when I work with them. There's no preconceived ideas of what I'm walking into. What I see is what I get, and that's what we work with. And they say, well, how do you work? Well, I work intuitively. I do not put anything ahead of time. I don't preconceive anything. I look at you, we talk, I take your picture or your pulses. Like right now, I've been looking over the screen and I'd love to give each and every one of you a message. I know we don't have that kind of time. My messages, and years ago, Dr. Marilyn Rosner, who I met in Calgary in really early 70s, she called me right out of the blue and said, I need your services, whatever. And where was I going with that? Well, yeah, it's things that just come to me and I don't know where they come to. I'm the only one in SSF that they gave permission to use talk medical as well, because of my background and what I do. And so a lot of my messages are medical. And so we'll just leave that there for now. Don't have to be straight. I don't bite. I chew a little maybe, but don't bite. Main thing is I've learned because of abuse when I was young, I didn't know laughing. And some of my mentors, Dr. Bedtime Ritual, Dr. Jock McKean, they had a health center up in one of the islands, and I was staff for 2.5 years up there. And we were watching a stupid movie when there was no one on campus for treatments or working groups. And I was getting on to 50 then, and there was this one movie and I was laughing my head off. And Jock looked at Ben and said, I don't think I've ever heard Joe laugh before. That was a changing time in my life, that everything I was doing was giving away to be liked. And I was always being right because of my literacy and so forth. I always had to be right. So it was a month-long workshop we were doing, very intense. And one of the things I did for myself during that time was designed a needle point. Now I do cross stitch and very fine cross stitch, 28 count. And anyway, I did this night. I designed him and he had the 5-element shield on and the whole bit and his lance and everything else. And I put a castle behind him. And then the phrase I wrote underneath it was, he spent so long defending, he never did advance. That was life-changing for me. That was literally life-changing for me. And getting old, I get to be an old fart and I don't have to care about what other people think about me. So I use a phrase a lot about what other people say and think about me is none of my business. Because as soon as I make it my business, boy, can I beat myself up. And I'm tired of that. So we play with that one. The best phrase I follow is, very little in life matters. And very little really matters at all. And if we come down to our lives, what in your life really matters? We put kids up and family, and we put all these other things up, but do they really matter? Yes, they do. But if we drop dead tomorrow, the mattering stops. Okay? Because we're not able to function in that realm anymore. We have to go to the spirit realm, and then we got a whole other thing to deal with. And we play with that. The big thing is, I like the words of Golda Meir, and I've heard this, it was a way back, probably in the mid-70s. Golda Meir, the first female prime minister of Israel, came up with a phrase, and I'd seen it and I'd followed it since, and it says, "Don't be humble. You ain't that great." And I just laugh at that every time I think, oh, I'm doing really good work. Boy, I'm going to do all kinds of healing today. Get your head out of your house and get on with it. You know, it's real. This is what we're doing. We're playing. And that's what I do. I see people. I vision what's coming on. If somebody has sore necks and shoulders, I can show them exactly where the trigger points are just by senses. I can show them half a dozen different points of the body I can push on. And this is for you, Shelley. We know exactly where it is. Shelley's my landlady, and I keep rubbing it in. She is my landlady. Yeah, she has trouble with that sometimes. So I know I've been rambling. Hopefully I've given you a little bit about what I do. I'm looking forward to messages. Yeah, and I believe we all have these skills at birth or at conception. I believe we all have these skills. Some of us are afraid to use them. Some of us are terrified to use them. Some of us don't want to even let anybody know we can do this stuff because there's usually a punishment involved. And I feel totally humbled and blessed that Creator has chosen me to do this work. Thank you for letting me ramble. You're on.
Thank you. I'm gonna just switch positions.
Hi, bud. Hi, Dottie.
So we want to thank Dr. Turner for sharing with us today. As Dr. Turner said, each and every one of us had gifts to work with the spirit. And for some of us, it might be more forward. And for some of us, maybe their path was to study, I don't know, mathematics. But the thing is that Spirit's always there guiding us. Anybody who's in the sciences may not realize that they're working with creativity. But creativity, what sparks creativity? Spirit. So I want to thank you, Dr. Turner, for sharing that with us.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to pass you your water. I want to encourage everyone to work with their gifts of the spirit. Dr. Turner works with Chinese medicine with healing, but something that each of us can do as well is we all have the ability to work with energy. And you know, for some of the things that Dr. Turner was saying is that I hope we all realize that, you know, Dr. Turner can push on the points, he can do the acupuncture, and we can work with energy to help people. But it's
all energy.
Us are allowing for the healing to happen. That allows it to happen. And where I'm going with this is I would encourage all of us here as well. You know, you can, people, if they're open to energy and receiving energy, all of you have the capacity to do that. It's called laying on of hands. And I would encourage you to look forward and into that. I would also just encourage that that you'll always remember that it's the person receiving the healing that's receiving the healing. Now, we're going to come to a portion of our event today that involves some mediumship. And as Dr. Turner mentioned, he is actually something about Kindred Spirit Spiritualist Science Fellowship and the Spiritual Science Fellowship is that we abide by the laws of the land. We don't give medical information in any of our work with spirit, and that's because unless we have the legal papers saying that we can do this, we don't do it. But Dr. Turner is a practitioner of Chinese medicine. So when we go forward with the messages, all messages are meant to be positive. It's up to you to accept whatever you want to accept, and I just need to explain that. Okay, before we go into working with our spirit messages, I want to give, I've got a few announcements to talk about. Kindred Spirit Spiritualist Fellowship, we usually do events like this every month, and there's always a different lecture. It could be an inspirational lecture from one of our members. It could be on a specific topic that could be on ancient cultures, different aspects of mediumship, different ancient spiritual religious traditions, could be UFOs, could be mythical creatures. The list goes on and on. It could be anything related to metaphysics. So we also have a website, and we try to keep that updated. And we have a Facebook page, and that's where we always we list information about what's coming up. So our website is kindredspiritsfellowship.com. If you Google Kindred Spirits Spiritualist Fellowship, you'll find us. And our Facebook page is Kindred Spirits Spiritualist Fellowship. Now, in speaking of energy healing, something that we have on our website, kindredspiritsfellowship.com, is we have a little book on that, our main page. And what that is you click on it and you can send names through to people that you may wish to have energy, spiritual energy healing sent to. What happens, we don't want any information about the person, just the name, because it goes off to whoever's volunteering to send energy and prayers to people. The names go off to them and they send energy and prayers to the person. For things that we do today, there's never any fee. The only thing that we really do fees for are like classes and workshops. But events like today, we do accept donations. And if you would like to send a donation to us, you can simply do that by doing a bank transfer or Interact, or and send it to Kindred Spirits. It's the same email that you emailed to register, Kindred Spirits Fellowship@gmail.com. Okay, something else that we have is we have a membership, which is for those of you that would like to become a member of Kindred Spirit Spiritualist Fellowship. That is $20 a year. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to be part of the community and vote at our annual AGM. And we really do want to grow our community officially and have our community to have a say that what we do. So I would encourage, you'll find more information about that on our website. Okay, the other thing that I have to announce is that in late May, we're going to have our spiritual mediumship development classes beginning. And these classes are going to be a set of modules which go all the way from the first module, which introduces people to energy and working with their own energy and spiritual protection. And it goes all the way through to the working with mediumship, and then working with tools with mediumship and being able to perform readings all the way through. So those class modules will be up soon. I'm the webmaster there as soon as I can get them up. And we'd look forward to, I look forward to anybody who would like to join us and with these classes. So that's it for our announcements. And now we're going to go to our mediumship messages. Reverend Michael, how are you doing there today? For unmute yourself there.
I've been looking for my rune stones, but I've not been able to find them, so I guess I'm not going to be able to use them today.
Okay, I'm just going to go over the process of how we do our mediumship with the Zoom, okay? If you would like to be able to receive a mediumship message, I am going to ask you to turn the camera on. And we are going to ask you for permission. If we can give you a message, either say yes or be no. And don't be offended. We just move on to the next person. And you may hear us ask, if you understand, just yes or no. Okay, so here we go, Reverend Michael.
Okay. Let me see. Sue, could I come to you? Okay, as I first looked at you and I first came into my vibration, it's almost like I see a cone of energy coming into your headspace, and I feel that there's some sort of it's almost like there's a story that could be sort of given to you, or information could be given to you. So thoughts that do not appear to be your own, it's almost like I want to write those down, or I want to sort of keep a journal on that, because I feel that there is work going to be happening for you, and it's almost like I want to open the doors for that. There's the opportunity to write some sort of journal or a book as a result of this. As I go into your space, I feel very comfortable, and I feel very at peace, and to sort of enjoy that energy, and then to feed off that energy. And many doors are opening for you at this time, and I'll leave that with you. Okay. Bradley Howitt, can I come to you? Okay. I feel something to do. The first word that's coming to me is something to do with science. I have no idea what your background is, but I feel that there is some sort of degree behind you that has brought you to where you are today, and you're a very gifted individual as well. I feel that you've had experiences that may question some beliefs, and it's almost like to embrace what feels comfortable with you and what enriches you at this time. You're a very deep thinker, and allow those questions to, I feel you have questions within your mind, and allow those questions to be asked, and the answers will come to you, many of them in your thought process. And I'll leave that with you. Shelley, could I come to you? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm getting something about, they're giving me that phrase, an open book, or it's almost like, I feel that you're a very honest and forthcoming person. And I feel that you, there's something about trust. I feel like trust in I offer trust in the beginning, and if that is abused or not respected, of course, I sort of withdraw that. But I feel that you have put out a lot of energy for others, and they're saying to put this energy for some of this energy for yourself as well. It's important for you to do things for yourself each and every day. I always say, you know, look after myself the first and foremost, and then I have much more to give. But I feel that you're a very loving soul and have reached out to many people in your life, and it's almost like the thank yous are coming back for ones that may be on the other side. And I'll leave that with you.
Thank you.
Dr. Joe, can I come to you? I feel that you have made a difference in many people's lives on earth that you have come in contact with. And I feel that as some of these have gone to the other side, not to be surprised if that you may receive thank yous or acknowledgements in the dream state of ones that may have come across. And I'm sort of seeing life at one time was a battlefield, but I feel that part of it is over. I was seeing a battlefield, and sometimes the battlefield may be within, but I feel that I have dealt with that, and I've sort of moved forward into sort of peace and clarity once that process happened. And I'll leave that with you.
Thank you, Michael.
I can't hear you.
Reverend Michael, would you like to see if you have another message later, and we'll get let Joe go?
Okay.
Okay. Come on over here, Joe, and we're going to get you. Dr. Joe Turner is going to share his gifts of the spirit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry about the marathon of up, down, guys, but if we have two computers totally on, we'll get a lot of feedback. So if you'd like to receive a message, make sure you're in the camera view so Joe can see you.
Jeanette, may I come into you? Thank you. I'm seeing a lot of sadness. So that tells me there's a lot of things you're struggling with right now. You just like to be able to get some focus on it. It has to do with your future personally, I believe. And things will get a lot better. You have to trust that and trust Creator in that one, that they will get a lot better. Right now you're seeing it like, is it ever going to end? Are we ever going to be able to see what we're really trying to accomplish here? Most of it has to do, I believe, with family. I think that's fairly close. Thank you. Yeah, it will get better. Julia, may I come to you? You're trying to hide. You don't let people know who you are, dear. Inside, you want to be liked, but you don't tell anybody who you are or show them who you are so they don't know who they're looking at, really. I think you're like a chameleon. You change colors wherever you happen to be, and you can't see the real you. Does that make any sense to you at all?
Do you understand?
I do and I don't. I
Okay.
guess I can say I don't.
Okay, that's part of the confusion that's going on right now for you. You know where you want to go, what you want to do, and yet you're stuck. There's a health issue in here as well for you that's scaring you. You're going to be okay. Okay, it's a warning for you. You need to change how you're doing things. You don't need to change it all. Change one small piece. And by changing one small piece, you've changed the whole. Does that make sense to you?
Maybe it's my eating habits.
No, it's scaring you, whatever it is, and you don't know what to do with it. Does that make sense?
I don't know what target that is going to because it's so many different avenues.
Yes. And you're trying to figure out which way to go. You have a lot of different options. Pick one, just one. Doesn't matter which one, any one you want, and go down that path and see if it makes a difference for you. Because by going down that one path, it'll stop all the chaos and the confusion, and you will get some direction.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bonnie, can I talk to you? You've been struggling with past health from going back to when you were quite young, I believe. No? Okay. It probably started about 11 and a half or 12, probably just when you were coming into puberty. And there was a lot of chaos at that time in your life as well. You've carried that with you and fall back on that because you know it. It's easy to go back to something we're familiar with. Again, we need to change the small piece because it's affecting everything you're doing today with your kids, with your pregnancies, with your births, and so forth. It's affected all of those and how you handle them, okay? And the fear that goes with that. We don't need to be afraid. Creator's looking after us. It's our own not knowing that scares us. Fear of the unknown, if we like, okay? That make sense? So just keep going the way you are, but don't drag all the old stuff with you. It's holding you back from moving on. Yeah, you know that one, don't you? Yeah. Bradley, can I talk to you? Good. Love the palm tree in the background. Great visuals. There's something going on in your life that you're afraid to look at or don't want to look at. So you're pretending it's not there. Yeah, and I'm getting relationship, but not necessarily relationship with other, but relationship with self. Who am I going to be when I grow up? Does that make any sense? Yeah. You're doing great the way you are. You just figure you need something else, but you don't, okay? That's an illusion. You're good just the way you are, but you keep thinking, oh, I need more. Well, you don't need the more. So let go of the struggle and have fun. Okay? Okay, I've got one more.
Yep, you can. Definitely.
Sue, can I talk to you? You've had something worrying you for the last few years that's getting in the road of you having fun. And it's around health. And I think you know that. Yeah. Don't be afraid of it. Don't just dismiss it, but don't be afraid of it, okay? You're going to be fine. You've been living in fear of the unknown or what it could be. Does it make any sense to you? Yeah. Or is it going to be now or is it going to be later? How long do I have to wait? By creating all that negative, you're going to perpetuate it and make it happen. Okay? Lots of tears sitting right there. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Tears are good. They keep washing all that garbage away. So you can just let them go. You're going to be fine. But you need to stop worrying because that's holding you back from everything. Okay? Good.
How you doing there, Dr. Turner?
Good. Ernesto, I talk to you. Thank you. As I come into your energy, I'm finding something that sits in the head a lot. You're in your head and you don't come into your heart. Okay? Your heart is your truth. I see the head as being ego and the heart as being your truth. You live in your head a lot, and it tells you lots of neat stories, and some of them you just want to run and follow and see what the hell they are. Mine does the same thing, but I know as soon as I go, I'm in trouble. Everything that comes from my heart is my truth. Okay? You understand that? Good. And when you live in your truth, you'll be well emotionally, physically, and mentally. Okay, you will be healthy. Right now, you're worried. Yeah, there's stuff going on with you that's scaring the hell out of you. And it doesn't need to scare you. It's the unknown that's not scaring you, okay? Yeah, you know what we're talking about.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. The same goes for you, Gwyneth. Just saying. Yeah, okay, let's just leave it there for now, okay?
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you, Dr. Turner. So thank you to Dr. Turner. So I have something a little bit odd here that happens. And before I show you this and go forward with messages, I'm going to tell you that I am not an artist who does drawing. The process with these drawings is something that came up automatically between me and my spirits. The images are like my spirits see this and then bring it forward. So I have a couple of messages here. And like I said, remember, remember, they're having to work with me as someone that doesn't draw. Okay. So this is the first image that I have, and I've gone a little differently today. I have to see who. May I speak with Gabby? It says iPhone Gabby. Okay, okay, okay. So, by the way, if you want these pictures, just email me the same email that you signed up with, and I'll take a picture. Okay, so this is a younger gentleman, actually. I didn't even know he was younger until I heard it. He passed when he was actually he passed when he was young, and he's been gone for a long time because I've got this right here. Okay, so when I was drawing him, what I've gotten is be kind to you. Okay. The other thing that he said is get out there and do it. Now, as I say, be kind to you, I'm feeling that you are someone who's worked with a lot of people. Now, the past year may have changed some of those circumstances, but you work with a lot of people. I'm also feeling that you've got a lot of intelligence and training that you work with. There's a connection though with your gut though that you haven't been exploring totally to its capacity. Do you understand? Okay. Okay, so one of the things that he said is get out there and do it. Part of what you have to do is make your work known to others because not everybody is aware of it. I'm feeling like there's a bit of a plan that you've started to develop in your head. They want you to get out a pen and paper, put that to paper or write it on your computer, because once you begin to get it more structured, you are more likely to step out and get it done. Do you understand? Do you understand? If you want to unmute yourself, if you don't understand, let me know, because I'll ask for more information. You understand? Okay. Okay. I'm going to leave that with you and say go. Oh.
Excuse me. I understand a little bit, but I like to write, but not fully. I have a lot of ideas and intuition. I don't know what way.
I'll tell you how to start it. Take a pen, piece of paper, and start doing this. Right? That's how you start. And as you write, you will come up with your plan. Okay? It's that simple. Just you have to do it. Okay? I'm going to say God bless you and thank you for allowing me to share with you. Okay, so this is the next individual that came up on the paper. And Maria, I'm going to ask to speak with you. Julia Maria, may I speak with you?
Yes, ma'am.
My
I'm happy
impression is
to.
that you very much know who this is, because I almost got knocked over. Whoa, I am getting knocked over. I'm getting knocked over. Do you understand? It's a female. And to me, she appeared indigenous. Her eyes are very, very unique, very beautiful.
I know who she is.
Okay, then let me. Okay, I've written something on top. So the message that she has for you is make tomorrow today. She's very, let me tell you, the spirit is something else. It's okay if you don't know who she is. Okay, I'm going to describe her vibration for you. She's very soft, but she has strength when she comes in your presence. She moves things in your house. Do you understand that? Things are moving in your house. Okay. Want your attention because things are getting moved around in your house. Her eyes are amazing. They're sleepy, diesely, kind of beautiful, beautiful eyes. In her, when she walked on the earth, she's showing me clothing that it would have been. She wore like almost like a blanket around her shoulders that had rows of color in it and like tassels coming off of it. I'm seeing canyon and I'm seeing the sun coming up, because each day the sun was greeted. Her faith, you know, she hasn't been gone. She's passed within like 75 to 80 years, which is really pretty young. She's saying there's some mourning. Mourning as in grief. There's been some grieving around you. She really wants you to move through this as strongly as you can.
I don't know who she is.
That's okay. It doesn't matter. She may tell us, she may just be a guide that is not going to give me that. She wants you to move through this grieving process, and you can get through it with ease. There's always going to be points in your life that are tugging on your heart. And this is hard for me to say because you've told me a little bit about you. There's always going to be issues with you tugging on your heart. And she wants me to get up and stomp on the floor. She she needs you to step out of your shell and step into your own power. Because you, lady, are a powerful woman and you're blocking your own power. And I feel you do know this on one level. Thank you.
Ask her, can you ask her, is she my mother?
I'm going to tell you that I got mother's side.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say exactly like that because that's something that I don't do. She's definitely mother energy. There's something that she wanted to say. She said that I'm not, I don't know if you're thinking about a car, but there's a car coming in your future. Okay. So there's a bedtime. She's also telling me that there's a bedtime ritual that you go through that she sees that you do every night. Okay, do you understand?
Yes.
You're watched over a lot, not by only her, by many spirits. When you have gifts like you do, you know that attracts many spirits who care about you deeply. Sometimes though, lady, you have to step out and ask for help for yourself. It's you to do that. I'm going to leave it with you and say, God bless you. And we can make this picture. Oh, she wished that I've got written here, make tomorrow today. So what you've been putting off, you need to step into and make it happen today. Okay. Do you understand? Okay. Maybe write that and put that on your fridge where you can see it. Make tomorrow today, with an image of the sun coming up. Okay, I'm going to leave that with you and say God bless you. Okay, this was these are really fast and I don't draw. So this is an Indigenous gentleman. Okay, Dr. Turner, it's for you.
Yeah, what would you like?
Okay, so I've got written on here this man's name. He called him, it was known as White Feather.
Yeah.
You understand that? White Feather.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so there's some things about your family that you need to step out, and the words are strong. Carry your family's pride. Do you understand, Dr. Turner? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
Okay. Okay, then I need to say no more than he was for you. So I want to thank, I have one more message, if I may speak with you, Sue. Okay. So as I come into your vibration, Sue, what I'm hearing is joy, joy. You need to have more joy happening into your life. I'm actually feeling like a bit of grief. You know, when you feel grief, you can go into it and allow it to pass. Allow your tears to flow, because when you allow them to flow, they release and then you can fill up. Go lock yourself in the bathroom. You know, I can tell you good tricks for not losing your mascara while you do that. You just kind of keep. So even if you're out and about, you need time alone, go do it. Okay, because after this, you'll find that pay attention, because spirit's always around you. Pay attention to what you're hearing in here, because they're going to talk to you. You're going to get messages and it's going to brighten everything up. If you need, take a pen and paper. You know, listen in here, but you're going to find it's going to brighten everything up. Really, what they really want you to know is to allow for yourself. Also, I'm hearing take your own advice. Okay. Okay, so I want to thank everybody and say God bless you. So Reverend Michael, before I go, before we close, do you have any more messages that you would like to share?
No, I'm good. I don't have anything more.
Okay, as we opened in prayer, we're going to close in prayer. And as I said earlier, the service is dedicated to Reverend John White of Lilydale, New York, and president of the Spiritual Science Fellowship, who had an influence on many of us in teaching us to bring out our mediumship abilities. We know Reverend John, that you are with Father John Rosner. And we know that Reverend John, your soul is soaring high. One of the things about, I'm going to say about Reverend John White is that I used to do some work for him. And when he would call and I pick up the phone, you get blasted with this energy. I'd be like, oh my God, what have you been doing? And he's like, oh, I was just at a 10-day a 10-day retreat or something like that. Actually, one time my godfather from Cuba, my brother-in-law, called the house, and Reverend Michael was in the house with Reverend John White, and Roberto is quite a gifted medium, and Roberto was like, Rolando's my husband. Rolando, who is in your house? And it was Reverend John. So Reverend John, we know that you will come and visit us, and we know that your soul will fly high. I would ask that people do say a prayer for Reverend John's family, because it's always hard to lose someone so dear. Okay. And we're going to close with a prayer. Holy Mother, Father God, Creator known to many in many different names, by many different names in many different ways, we give thanks for this time to come together and share. Hear our prayers for our fellow brothers and sisters of humanity, that they may have peace in their hearts and their souls will elevate while they walk the earth plane, and that they may be able to fulfill their destinies. Please hear our prayer for Reverend John White's family, that they may have and be able to find peace in their heart as they miss their loved ones. And hear our prayer for all of those who may be missing loved ones because they're in the spiritual realm. We ask that you send your healing to those who are suffering. And again, we give thanks for you coming, for your allowing us to come together today. We give thanks to our guides, angels, and ancestors who have come forward to work with us today. And we realize that as they draw back close to their own realms, as we close this event today and this work with them today, that they're only a thought or a word for us to begin to work with them again away. And I want to say thank you again. Amen. Ashe. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you'll join us again. We try to do this monthly, and like I say, we have different speakers on different topics. It was definitely our honor to share. So thank you so much, and God bless.